Hello you guys, welcome back to another video on this channel. Today I have a story time, but before we dive in to this dating horror story, do y'all think like I look a little bit different? Like, makeup style's a little different, a little 2000s bit. If you guessed it or if you've seen my other content, twin witches?
Exactly! Go Twitches! Go Twitches!
Do you guys like my costume? This is a very niche costume. This movie was my childhood. I love this movie. I watch it every October. And I literally already happen to have the little sun pendant. So I'm like, I gotta be Cameron. I gotta be Cammy. Hit the little braid out. That's the costume of the year. Very nostalgic, very natural. And yeah, I just had to address that before anything else. Y'all, California in fall is playing a little bit of games right now. It's been chilly, but right now I'm currently sweating filming in this jacket. So let's just get straight on into it and acknowledge that the mic is on again. The mic, she's on. Anyway, let's just get into this story time that I owe you guys because it's just, y'all, it's just. So, once upon a time, y'all, I went on my first date in a while. If you guys know me, if you've been on this channel, y'all know Alicia's not, I'm not a dater. Like, we talk for a week, it doesn't work out, it's something you say, I'm real strict over here. Or, like, I talk to someone, we talk for a while, then we're together. Or we're actually together from your first conversation with me. So I think anyone who wants me should know that. But regardless, if y'all don't know, I've been single most of this year. I had my last relationship. What the breakup was in February, and obviously right now we're in October. So it's been a while. I really hadn't had like a talking stage, hadn't gone on any dates until this time came around. So if you guys know, you know, like my Instagram with two N's that I'll link down below is where I really post like a lot of my content, reels, promote my YouTube, stuff like that. Then I also have a personal account that has like 1,000 followers or something like that. It's been pretty stagnant, like same account since I was like 13, and I got a follow from someone on there. Normally I'm used to getting followers on like the one where I'm consistently posting, but I got a follow on that one. And so I'm like, who is that? So I click on the profile and I'm like, oh, he's cute. It says California in his bio. Follow back. Follow back. Hey. As you know, because I'm like chronically online, most of the time I'm getting follows from men who are in like Texas, Georgia, Arizona. Like it's like never Cali. So I like what I saw in that. So yeah. So we got to give him a name. So of course, me and him start talking. We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him David. David, that's gonna be his name. Me and David start talking in the DMs. You know, he compliments me, I compliment him back. He asks where I live in California. I tell him it's not the same city as him, but it's like not too far. And he's like, oh, like we're just talking about interests and random stuff. But honestly, compared to when guys normally get at me and to my liking, because like I said, we're together from the first conversation. So anyone knowing that video should know that. Like, I like men up my, like, respond fast. I mean, obviously, I have a life and you have a life. If you're at work or whatever, just communicate. But he was, like, kind of slow. Like, his responses were slower than normal. But the only reason I wasn't leaving him on red, I was like, well, one, he started. But two, I'm like, also, his responses were very thorough. Like, he would send like a paragraph back in detail, responding to everything. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's just a busy guy. You know what I'm saying? He mentioned like, oh, if I'm ever in your city, we should hang out. Stranger danger, little nigga. I don't know you yet. Why do boys love to say that from like the first Why would I say yeah? Well, I know some girls would say yes, but like, I don't know you yet. You cute though. So we have a conversation about just random stuff. Like I said, it's not very consistent. It's very stretched out for like 2 days ish, maybe. And like I said, because he's slower than normal and I like men all up my, why you need to know all up in my, like that's the energy I need from day one. Low key, I remember I was ready to leave him on red. I was like, he's cute, but like, if you're not enticing the conversation, being consistent, me actually feel like I'm talking to someone, you're boring me. And like, I don't need that. I need someone up it, like I just said. And so I remember he said this one response, And I was like, it had literally been like before the first night. It was like no good morning or anything. Like I said, I don't know if it's on purpose, but communication is key with this Scorpio, okay? I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna let the conversation die. But he followed up and he was like, hey, I really apologize for like being slow. Here's my number. Like, I'll text you faster on there. So I'm like, okay, David. I'm like, all right, David. All right. Remember all this though. So he saved himself for now. So I'm like, okay, I take his number and oh wait, no. Did I text him? No. Okay, I sent him my number back. Okay. Boom. So yeah, so on the numbers, David texts me. It is like faster than DMs. And we start like getting to know each other. Like, oh, like I didn't even know how old this man was. Like, I seen pictures of him in bars and stuff. So obviously, I knew he was around my age. So I'm like, how old are you? Like, how long have you lived in the city? Like, I found out he's not even from California. He's a transplant, and we just actually like have a conversation about stuff, what we're doing throughout the day. And then I remember, like, I don't know, y'all. Like I said, when it comes to men wanting to see me quick, I feel like it's two sides to dating when men want to see you quick, like quickly, especially as we get older. Like, one, stranger danger, you don't know me, like, you want to invite me to your house, I can rob you. But then the other side it is like, well, yeah, we're grown, like we're not pen pals, so it is attractive to be like, can I see you this day? So after we had a more consistent conversation, getting to know each other, he mentioned again, he was like, I haven't been to your city in a while. He was like, are you down to like hang out one time? And he literally gave me a date. I think it was like a week, or yeah, it was like the next weekend because it was the weekend when I was talking. And he was like, does this day work? Like, I could come see you and we could hang out, find something to do down there. And I was like, yeah, I get off at this time. That's fine. Like, it's kind of like I felt more comfortable, and it is attractive for like a man to give you a date, give you time, be like, have everything ready and just be like, are you open? So I was like, okay, David. Okay, David. All right. Bet. So we secure the date. Again, very, very attractive because I'm so used to men, especially even when I date guys who are not from around here, which is like what I'm always doing. It's always like, well, I can't plan a first date because I don't know what's out there. So you just tell me what you want to do. Like, he was so set on like, this time I'll tell you what we're doing. I'll figure out something to do down there. So I was like, okay, David knows how to make the like, I was like, okay, T. But I did mention again, stranger danger. I don't know, you like, I was like, yeah, like I'm down, I'm free to meet you and stuff. But I was like, I definitely want to like call or FaceTime before I meet you, so like we could talk more. I could know more about you and like see your face and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, for sure. Again, an answer that kind of threw me off, y'all. He was like, how does like Wednesday work? Like, I don't know, y'all. He just gave very like I love me a black nerd, like a nerdy vibe, So like it was cool, but I was just like scheduling a phone. Like, I'm saying, normally I'm used to men being like, oh, okay, can I call you in an hour? I'm like, Wednesday? Wednesday was in like 3 days. Like, I don't know, when I talk to people, which is why I was even open, because this is very different, like I said, from my talking stages. Normally it goes like we text a couple of days and then we FaceTime, and then normally by like a FaceTime they ask me on a date, and then we're FaceTiming every day up to the date. Like, I don't know if that's like the Scorpio need to control things, or like, but also just for my safety, because again, at the end of the day, they're just random men I don't know. Like, I like to know a lot and enough. Like how some people be like, I went on a date with him and I found out he voted for this, or he said some like, I'm like, I'm not trying to do that because I'll get up and leave in the middle of the day. I'm trying to know like the basis of that stuff before I see you, because are you even worth seeing me? Huh? What? Huh? So it was very different for me, but I was basically just like, okay. So I think we text for like another day. Wednesday comes around, we call, we FaceTime, we're on the phone for like 2 hours, and he's really cool. Like, again, we just talk more about more stuff. Oh, like telling me he has his own place, what job he works, talking about family, talking about him coming from an immigrant family, um, you know, getting into the political stuff, and we was all agreeing. Okay, love two black people who are on the same page, because I don't know. I don't know some days. Y'all seen that other story time. But by the end of the FaceTime, and I also got more insight on to like why he's kind of slow. So like he worked a full-time job, 9 to 5, weekdays, seems very smart, intelligent, good job. Okay. Upgrade from my, if y'all know who I used to date. you know, like he seems cool. Like he's someone, I'm a 20 somethings that's still at home, that still feels like a child. He's on his own, paying for his own stuff, paying rent and stuff. I'm like, okay. He tells me like he does a gym, he does this. Like he just seems like a very busy, educated being. I'm like, I like that. But communicate. Like I said, with the slowness, I'm like, yes, I love a man who has a life, and because I have a life too, but I'm like, I'm just communicate, communicate, communicate. When we're not going to speak, when we're not, don't just be slow. That's like what irks me. Um, but I got to know a lot about his life. Fast forward, the day of the date comes. I get off work, send him my address. He said he's on the way. I'm getting ready. My heart is pounding. I'm like, I can't believe I agreed to a date. And again, y'all, because this talking stage was like a lot different from what I'm used to, I was also kind of nervous about the date. Because it's like he was definitely complimenting me and like showing me he was interested in that way. But just because we hadn't talked and like FaceTimed a ton, like I didn't know the vibes. Like should I hold his hand? Should I like is he gonna like I didn't know exactly how like it was gonna be. But he picked me up. He was really nice. We made conversation all the way to the little like rooftop bar restaurant place. We ate. The food was we had like banter, like we were making each other laugh. It was all cool vibes, but it wasn't any like touching yet. It wasn't any touching. So we went somewhere down by the beach. People have literally told me this before, so I think he wasn't lying. But I remember when we were walking, maybe it's just because it was cold, because it was like when it was starting to get chilly at night. And he was saying, like, girl, you low key don't walk straight. Like, I keep feeling you like veer into me. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like, some people say that. I thought I was. And he was like, here. And he just like grabbed my arm. I was like, oh, so that's what you was. I really not walking straight, or were you just trying to touch me? But anyway, it wasn't smooth. So we finally got some touching going on. I mean, not too much, just holding hands. We're walking by the beach, and then, like, there's not like the little restaurant thing is closing. The beach area, like, it's getting late, and he's like, "Well, do you want me to take you home, or do you want to like hang out somewhere?" And I was like, "No, I definitely want to keep hanging out with you, but like, it's cold out here." So I was like, "We could honestly just like talk in your car, like, I don't mind." And he was like, "Okay, bet." So again, my heart's racing because I'm like, okay, now we're holding hands. Like I'm not gonna lie, y'all. On most dates, most first dates, I kiss. I know some people are like, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't. I like to kiss on the first date. I guess if the vibe's there, but on almost every first date I've kissed. But again, because I didn't know how romantic, like I wasn't sure what to expect. So I'm also like, when we get to the car, but we got to the car. He's not weird. We're still talking, but he's definitely like more touchy because we were holding hands. So where y'all, we were probably talking for like a half an hour before anything happened. But okay, like I said, I love me an awkward, nerdy black man. So whatever. But I remember, y'all, what had me is like in the car, his way of keeping physical touch with me was like he had his arm around me, right? So I was like we eventually were talking. I'm gonna just demonstrate, y'all. So imagine someone putting their arm around you. So like you're me. So we're talking sideways. Like I'm leaned on him and we're both facing forward and just, oh y'all, when I tell y'all it was so like I understand what he was trying to do, but I was like, to me, this is so awkward to talk to someone and not look at them. And then like the middle of the car was kind of like hurting my ribs a little bit, but then I kind of liked leaning up again. Whatever. We're talking like that. I remember there's like one spare moment, and he's like, I've been waiting for like awkward silence so I could finally kiss you, but then he just kept talking. What Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he just tell me to shut the fuck up? Y'all, I literally bust out laughing. I'm like, wait, what? Like, are you telling me you've been wanting me to shut up? He's like, no, no, no. Like, it came out wrong. But he was like, I don't know. I was just like waiting for a moment. And I was like, oh, like, I didn't know if we were gonna kiss or not. Like, I didn't know what the vibe was. And then he was like, well, yeah, I was like waiting, but I didn't want to be like random with it. And we're like, oh, I'm like, oh. So we're just looking. He leans, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just like the way that came out made like I'm still like giggling. I'm like, I'm sorry. Wait. And then, eventually I gathered myself together and we started kissing. And mind y'all, when we were in the car before we started kissing, we were talking about like our backgrounds too. I'm like, yeah, I haven't, this is like my first date since my breakup. I've been single like most of the year. He was saying he hadn't been on a date in like 2 years, y'all. When I tell you that man was kissing me like he was starving. I said, literally, after we stopped making out, I was like, oh, I could see it was 2 years. Like, I literally made a joke. But it was tea, y'all. It was tea. I hate to waste greatness on someone I don't even speak to anymore, but we'll get to that. But y'all, literally, I remember we were making out, and then he was like, oh, like, do you want to listen to something? And I was like, actually, there's this new album you should play. And I said, can you play Heart Sold Separately by Mariah the Scientist? Oh, y'all, Eternal Flame. Okay, Sacrifice. Like what? That was such a good album. Like I was so tea for that. I was hyped. I did my thing with that one. But anyway, it was cool. We're still talking, kissing, talking, kissing. It gets late. Eventually, he takes me home. Literally on the way home, he's saying like, I can come back like next weekend, on a day where we don't work, so we can spend like the whole day together. And I was like, okay, bet. So I was like excited. I was like, this man, he put the romance on. He literally told me, remember this, y'all. Like when we kissed, he was like, yeah, I wanted to kiss you so you like know for real that I'm interested and like how like serious like I am about getting to know you. Remember that, David. Remember that. So yeah, he's saying all that. He took me home. He told me that he's gonna come back in a week for a second date. I'm hype, but I'm tired as hell. So I fill in all my homegirls the next morning and stuff, y'all. So I'm on cloud 9. I'm like, okay, this man was awkward and a little hard to read, but he put it on me on the date. Like I know for sure it's y'all. It's y'all, why did I wake up Saturday morning? I woke up Saturday morning to silence. I wake up updating my friends, talking about how we kissed and it was a really good date and he planned another date. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Why am I the only one sending out messages and I'm not hearing back from the man who just told me he want to make sure I know he was for real? But like, I think he might have said something like sent me a meme on Instagram or something, but like, hello, good morning. Like I said, y'all, I want them to be up my ass from the jump, from the first conversation. Like I said, it was kind of slow, kind of spread out the week leading up to him. And again, I was like just trying to be patient because I was like, maybe it doesn't have to be like all my talking stages. But now we done went on a date. You told me all this stuff, you know. So I'm like, So he told me like what he was doing the next day. So I think I just sent him a message like, "Hey, did you go to so and so yet?" And he was like, "Oh, not yet." And we just start talking like normal. It's fine. And we have conversations like normal. And then I'm like, "Okay, maybe he just I don't know, y'all." Sunday comes around. I'm so sorry, y'all. I can't in that jacket anymore. California Falls acting up. Anyway, so we're talking on Saturday. Sunday, why is he posting on Instagram and still nothing? Like, no good morning. I'm just like, I don't know how to feel, y'all. Like, I'm like confused because I'm like, you should be all up my, like I said, from the first conversation, but why are you not being all up, especially after the date? especially after you got to kiss these lips. Like, what? So I'm confused, but I think I just eventually, like, a conversation starts, and then he says he wants to call me, and then we call for like about an hour, and like it's regular vibes. Like, we're talking about the date, we're talking about our weekends. So I'm just like, I'm confused, but I'm like, it was good vibes on the phone that I think I kind of like didn't want to say anything, but like time passed on that Sunday, and I was like, no, like, Alicia, you know what you want, and like, yeah, maybe he hasn't dated in a long time and he has a different personality than you and stuff, but like, you know what you want and how you want to feel, you know? So I was like, girl, like, it's scary for me when it's someone new to communicate how I feel or what I expect, because I'm so used to like being watered down by men or having my emotions and stuff watered down. But I was like, no, girl, like, you need to stack it up. Like, it's early, throw it out there, see how he responds, and if not, get. Like, this is the same advice I be giving on YouTube. I'm like, I need to stop being shy, right? So I I'm like, hey, can I like call you? And he's like, yeah. So I call him like a Sunday night, and I'm basically like, when you normally talk to people, is this like how you communicate and how you talk? How it's like kind of spread out, or like you don't say like good morning or good night, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I just want to know what your vibe is, because I like on Saturday I expected like a good morning text or you to say something, but it's like both days on the weekend I had to say something, and I'm just like kind of confused. So I want to know how you feel about that. And he was like automatically really, really awkward and was like, yeah, like, that is, I normally have to like build up to talking to people that long. Like, I've been alone so long that I'm just not really used to that. Like, I feel like that's kind of something you like work towards. And I'm like, well, if I didn't say anything Saturday or Sunday, were you gonna say something? And he was like, yeah, of course. But again, like, with my standards, nigga, you was gonna say something at 4 p.m.? Like, no, no, I'm not about to wait all day long for you to say something. Like, what? So I'm just like, okay, I hear you, but I'm gonna like be honest. Like that, even though hearing that, like, I'm glad you cleared up and told me that I guess that's how you are, but I'm like, that's not how I am. Like, to feel like wanted, especially, and to feel like I'm talking to someone, like, especially with you not living in my city, I was like, I need to feel like engaged talking to you, like, you know, not just like, oh, it's so spread out, or I'll hear from him when I hear from him. And even though like you have a busy schedule and, you know, I have like a job and a life too, I'm like, it's just about communicating and like letting me know, like, those are things that make me feel wanted and like we're talking. And mind you too, he also told me on the date that he also is like exclusively only talking to me, and he will only be talking to me, and I said the same thing. So we were at that point too. He said he'd been like that since we first started talking. So at this point in the story, y'all, it's just like a story, right? What makes these boring men that I talk to story times is not like something so special about them, bro. It's always about the stupidity that comes out of their mouth. So he fixes his mouth to be like, well, like, going from telling someone good morning and good night and like good morning text, like, I feel like that's like a big step, like that's like a big commitment.
Just be nice. I'm finding it.
Good morning text is a big commitment, nigga. So I just let him talk. I'm like, how is that? I was like, you've already seen me. You've already went on a date with me. You drove to another city to see me, like, immediately. I'm like, how is texting me good morning a commitment? Like, that's common courtesy. Like, what? Like, I'm so confused. And he starts like, again, y'all, just you just let men talk, and they start saying out the ass. So I'm like, mind you, my goal with every conversation of who I'm talking to, unless I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's just you talk and you communicate to get through things, to fill people out, to see where you compromise or how they feel about things. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna cut him off because he's slow and he's not doing it. Like, it's like about bringing it to the table, seeing how he feels, if he's gonna respect my boundary. And he literally just starts saying, like, again, and he's very calm and very nice, like that's just like his personality. Like I said, it's just stupidity coming out the mouth. He's like, well, since we have such different communication styles, do you even think we should talk? And again, I'm like, Nick, like I'm like, good morning text and talking to someone. And it was also about calling too. I was like, well, how often would you call me if we're probably only gonna see each other once a week? This man was like, maybe 3 days a week. If you're my man and I can't see you every day, nigga, I better hear from you on the phone every day. Like, what? Like, we were just talking about stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, do you think maybe we just shouldn't talk since our communication styles are so different? And I was like, well, I mean, answer my question. Like, I told you, this is how I want to feel and be wanted. It comes down to communication and just like common courtesy. I'm like, are you willing to do that? And he was um, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, good morning text and like that's like a big commitment. Y'all, him and this good morning, a big commitment, a big commitment. Remember, this was the man 2 days ago who was saying, yeah, I just really want to go on this date with you and make sure I kissed you so you knew I was serious and I was for real and I was really into you and serious about getting to know you. Now, nigga, you're saying texting me when you wake up or to say good morning is a big commitment. So one thing about me, y'all, is at this big age of almost 23, I'm not begging a man, especially a man I've only known for a week, to um be with me. So I'm basically just like quiet. I'm like, okay. Like, okay. He answered his own question. He's like, well, what are you thinking? How are you feeling? And I was like, I'm really frustrated and confused. I was like, how are you saying all this stuff on the date and planning a date and saying you wanted to know um that you were serious and stuff just for something like this, like a simple basic common courtesy, to make you want to run and like make you think like that's too hard, when I'm like, that is the bare minimum in my opinion. So I'm like, yeah, I'm frustrated because like it makes no sense to me. And he's like, y'all, this is where I started to get mad. I'm mad cried after this phone call so hard because like I felt like when he said stuff like this, again, everything was in a calm tone. This man was very calm. I don't think he was trying to be rude. I think he was just one of those people where like the way things come out, just like when he said that he was waiting for me to shut up to kiss me, basically, comes out wrong. Why does he go, remember how I said I'm confused on how you said like it doesn't seem like you were serious or that interested, if something like this makes you want to not talk or like not even try? And he was like, I'm confused why you think it was like what you mean by like serious though, because it's only been one date. See, now I'm starting to get mad because it's like it gives that you're trying to call me delusional. After what did you say 2 days ago? Oh, I kissed you to make sure you knew how serious I was about getting. So serious was your word, but now me saying serious is delusional. Get the get out. And again, he's like, no, like I'm not trying to make it like I do want to get to know you, and obviously I'm only talking to you, and I plan the next date. So like, yeah, I am excited and stuff, but he's just like, sending you good morning and good night text is just something we have to work into, like, and I don't, it's only been one day. Like I said, this is why from now on I'm only talking to men who are up my ass before they see me. Cause what? You saw you what? Like it was just like flabbergasting to me. How once again, ladies, even though this wasn't the result that I was expecting, because he honestly did give like very like intelligent, hearing me out and stuff. I was like, I'm glad I said this, because I was like, imagine going on another date or being with someone who thinks the bare minimum is something in common courtesy and common communication is something you have to work up to. What? Good morning text is a big commitment? What? Communicating with you is a big nigga. Like now it just makes me laugh, y'all. It makes me laugh because be for real. So he's just like talking, and again, y'all, like I said, I'm not going to tell a man I've only known for a week that he should try to catch up here and respect my boundaries. So he's just saying everything, and he's like, okay. I'm just like, okay, okay. He's like, do you have anything else to say? I'm like, no. I already told you that it's frustrating and it doesn't make sense to me. And he was like, okay. And he was like, well, that was quick. I said, don't make jokes when I'm already annoyed with you. He said, okay, my bad. Boy, don't play. Don't like y'all. Yo. So again, I don't know what's wrong with men and their mental illness of trying to make me laugh or trying to, well, I really appreciated our time. I really like he was going on about all that and was like it's like the tone was giving he didn't want to hang up or stop talking to me. But I'm like, nigga, you just said you answered your own question. Like, I don't know. Honestly, when I look back at that situation, I feel like I don't. You know what? I don't even want to psychoanalyze analyze this man. So he says all that, and I'm just like, bye, boom, unfollow him, take his number off, and yeah, that is my life, y'all. A man did the things, boom, 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 time, place, where, pick me up, drove to get me, paid for everything, did the whole thing, said he wanted to show me he was interested, he was serious, all that, and then he said, communicating in good morning text, this bitch is asking for a lot. Oh, good morning text and common courtesy? Whoa, 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 whoa. She asking for too much. She asking for too much. Yeah, I could drive down and take you on a date and pay you for everything, but you want me to communicate with you? Ooh. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. And yeah, guys, that is another dating horror story. That is how unserious my dating life is. Like, like, I know the girls who get it, get it. Like I said, I was like frustrated. I had like a frustration cry after that call. Because, like I said, like I was kind of mad that it seemed like he was trying to give that I was delusional. And also, it just made, like, it just frustrated me, honestly, just about men in general. I'm like, why are y'all so lazy? I'm like, why are y'all so lazy to the basic bare minimum? And I guess it's not all, but whatever. Shit, especially the ones who talk to me. I'm just like, do I have like an idiot sign on my, do I have a bare minimum acceptance sign on my forehead? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, it really just like frustrated me. I was like, well, that was so stupid. I'm like, maybe I should have left him on red when I wanted to leave him on red instead of getting his number. Like, what? He didn't deserve all this. But yeah, that was the story time, y'all. It's real ghetto out here. It's real ghetto out here, but hey, it's more content for you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening to another story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.